Tonight at 5, police are investigating after a local principal was killed when she was hit by a car taking a walk this morning, what we know so far.
Plus, we're learning new details about a dairy plant fire in Portage and why fire crews had a hard time putting out the flames.
And we're following the latest in the murders of 4 Idaho college students as a suspect makes his first appearance in court. You're watching News 3 now at 5. School officials have confirmed a woman who was killed after being hit by a vehicle in Fitchburg this morning was a local school principal.
Police say 56-year-old Beth Steffen was taking a walk near her home when she was struck. The crash happened in the 2900 block of South Saline Road around 6:30. Steffen was taken to an area hospital where she later died. The driver of the vehicle stayed at the scene and is cooperating with the investigation. Steffen had been serving as principal at Badger Ridge Middle School and previously served as the principal at Edgewood High School. The Verona Area School District shared a statement to parents saying, quote, "We are devastated by this news. We will continue to build upon meaningful relationships between students and staff." The school is also offering counselors and social workers to students and staff. We will have a live update on this story beginning tonight at 6, and you can follow along as we learn more on channel3000.com.
In Portage, a fire caused significant damage to a dairy plant. The fire broke out just after 9 last night at Associated Milk Producers, Inc. Fire crews arrived to find heavy smoke coming from the roof of the building. Investigators say the fire broke out in a storage room that was filled with butter.
So about 20,000 gallons of cheese, or 180,000 pounds of cheese up in that area. That melted out basically out into all other parts of the building. Plus we were trying to make entry behind us up the stairs, and it was 3-4 inches thick coming down the steps, melting.
A hazmat team was called in to contain the cheese and butter runoff. The cause of the fire remains unclear.
Also in Portage, classes were disrupted today at the high school after someone called in an active shooter threat. Police later ruled the threat was not credible after searching the building and school grounds. The school was put on lockdown, but it was lifted after no threat was discovered. Last year, the Portage School District and several others across Wisconsin were targeted with a series of false threats in what police say was part of a larger swatting effort. Well, let's get a look at the weather now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart is out on the weather patio. It's a little foggy out there tonight, Greg.
Yeah, it's foggy, misty. It's like I said, we're kind of dealing with it. The good news is, like I said, the temperatures are above freezing, so we're not dealing with road issues. As you see, the system, really the clouds of the loft have really pushed to the east. We're just dealing now with the low-level clouds, which means we're going to see more drizzle than actually rain or snow overnight. That's what we're going to be dealing with. You zoom in, all the temperatures across the area are above freezing. That will not change tonight, so that's positive news. We won't be dealing with any road issues. Big picture-wise, this thing has really produced quite a bit of severe weather to the south, flooding issues, and even warm conditions, almost 70 in D.C. in certain areas ahead of it, too, so quite a bit of system. Overall, the precipitation, most of it's to the north now and to the west of it. You can see it kind of circulating back around. We even had thunderstorms near Chicago, even some hail reports down there, too, as we zoom in. Dew points, last night they were in the 20s, we're in the 30s, so no threat of any freezing precipitation or anything like that when you see dew points in the mid-30s right now. Temperatures right now, 38 in Madison. Overall, we see, if we zoom in, pretty much everyone's kind of in the upper 30s, most of the areas, maybe some mid-30s in certain areas. But like I said, we're above freezing. The main thing we're to deal with tonight, along with the mist, is the fog. Right now, you go further south, it's getting quite dense. I wouldn't expect that to continue overnight. It's just a lot of moisture, very little wind flow. Dense fog to the advisory to the south is till 9. I expect to see maybe more of that overnight as we go through, as with this conditions will not change much. So that's the big picture. Drizzle, light rain, light winds. We'll have foggy conditions throughout the night. The big picture wise, there's your warm air to the south, the cold air to the west. I'll track when we'll actually get that colder air and when we might see a little bit of snow a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, thank you. It is a new day at the state capitol with legislators and Governor Evers being sworn in.
And with the start of the new session, those politicians laid out their plans for the next 2 years. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on what to expect from them. Will?
Well, Susan, we're kind of in a transition period right now. We just had the campaign with a lot of rhetoric, and now that's transitioning over to the governing season now with policies that might turn into bills and laws here. And that's what we heard from the governor today. One of the hallmarks of his campaign, coming from a former teacher himself, invest more in education.
People voted because they believe, as I do, that we should fully fund our public schools, keep class sizes small, invest in kids' mental health. When we do what's best for our kids, we do what's best for our state.
Now, we'll likely see that appear later this year when the governor puts together the first draft of the state budget. And he'll have to work with the state legislature that gets to edit that budget draft to keep things in, like education funding. That's one of the things that we heard from both sides of the aisle today, more of a willingness to work together after what was often contentious past 4 years. So we'll have more coming up at 6 on that kind of bipartisan nature there. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now. All
right, Will, thank you. And even though both sides of the aisle are committed, they say, to working together, we also heard from the legislature that they will not rubber stamp all of the governor's policies. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu took issue with many of the things the governor said that he laid out as priorities in his inaugural address.
It was a very interesting speech by the governor. He talked about working together, but all of his ideas were highly partisan issues that he brought up. So I'm not sure how that's actually working together.
Governor Evers was sworn in for his second term, along with new Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Attorney General Josh Kaul, and hundreds of others. Here's a closer look at what the new legislature will look like in Wisconsin. Republicans will maintain control of both chambers. Most of the 31 new faces are in the Assembly. Out of 99 members, 24 are new, 16 Republicans and 8 Democrats. Moving on to the Senate, out of 33 members, 7 are new, 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats. You can find a full list of all of the incoming lawmakers at channel3000.com.
As for the leadership in both chambers, Robin Vos will begin his 6th term as Assembly Speaker. That's the longest in state history. Tyler August has been named Assembly Majority Leader. Democrat Greta Neubauer is the Assembly Minority Leader after she took over the role in the middle of the previous term. And in the Senate, Chris Kapenga will be back as Senate President. We heard from Devin LeMahieu earlier. He returns as Majority Leader. New this year, Madison Democrat Melissa Agard will be Minority Leader. Democrats have just 11 in their caucus this year.
And breaking in just the last half hour on Capitol Hill, the U.S. House has adjourned for the day after Republican leaders failed to elect a new speaker. California Republican Kevin McCarthy became the first House Speaker nominee in 100 years to fail to win enough support from his colleagues. He fell short of the majority, 218 votes in 3 rounds of voting to secure the position. On the other side, Democrats were united behind New York's Hakeem Jeffries as their new leader. He collected 212 votes.
And just in, newly released documents from the Congressional January 6th Investigation Committee reveals new information about Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson's involvement in an alternate slate of electors in 2020. The committee deposed the head of the state Republican Party for its investigation, who told them he had a conversation with the senator in early December after the election. The senator told him at the time he wanted the legislature to step in and appoint their own electors. Senator Johnson told us in a statement he does not recall that conversation. We have much more online right now at channel3000.com. The man being charged in the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students appeared in a Pennsylvania courtroom today. It took nearly 7 weeks for a suspect to be named in that case. Michael George now with the latest.
Brian Koberger appeared in a Monroe County, Pennsylvania courtroom and did not contest his extradition to Idaho to face murder charges.
We're going to be investigating every aspect of him that we can absolutely find out.
The 28-year-old was taken into custody at his parents' home early Friday in connection with the November stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. Law enforcement sources say he allegedly asked if he was the only one arrested.
We're trying to build this picture now of him, who he is, his history, how we got to this event, why this event occurred.
CBS News has learned a family pool of DNA from an ancestry database was used to link the Washington State University criminology graduate student to the scene of the murders, 15 minutes away from his school. Law enforcement sources tell CBS News Koberger drove to Pennsylvania with his father on a pre-planned trip. FBI agents were able to track the car cross-country using the Easy Pass system. Koberger's family says they promote his presumption of innocence, adding in a statement, quote, "We care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their precious children. There are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel, and we pray each day for them." The father of one of the victims, Kaylee Gonzalez, expressed relief.
We hope that they pick the right guy and that gives us hope, and we haven't had hope for a long time.
Police are still looking for a motive. Koberger's attorney says his client hopes to be exonerated of the charges. Michael George, CBS News, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Now, police say a murder weapon has not been located.
Southwest Airlines is being sued over its massive Christmas meltdown. In the lawsuit brought by a passenger, Eric Capdeville, he accuses the airline of violating federal law. He says instead of providing prompt refunds for canceled flights, Southwest offered credit towards a future flight. A federal judge in Louisiana has been asked to certify the lawsuit as a class action to include other passengers. Those of you in Madison looking to get rid of your Christmas tree, the first tree collection round begins today. From now until January 13th, you can leave your tree on the curb for pickup. Remember to remove all of the stands, decorations, and tree bags, or your tree might be passed up. Don't put wreaths or garlands out with your trees. They should go in the trash. If you miss the first tree collection, there will be a second one on January 17th, from January 17th to the 27th. Well, TikTok, as you know, can transform a small business with one viral video. And one owner in Southwest Wisconsin found that out.
Yeah, our Andrew Banser stopped by Wisconsin Clothing Company and has the story. Andrew?
Corey Kaiser was born and raised in Keeler, Wisconsin. The son of screen printers opened his small business after college, and suddenly he can't keep the product on the shelves. Corey's clothes are by Wisconsinites for Wisconsinites, with funny slogans from head to toe. His TikTok page, like his clothes, embodies the people of Wisconsin, and suddenly he's getting millions of views a week, and his sales are skyrocketing because of it.
We have our OPAT, because whether you like it or not, you say this word a lot. If I joined social media just to be able to push numbers and push sales, push views, I'm doing it for the wrong reason. The reason I'm doing it is because I want to make friends. I want to make connections with other people, and I want to be able to help them in their lives as well, and be able to support my small business, and all in the same, under the same umbrella.
His fourth year in business was his best yet. The UW Platteville grad said that he's living out his dream, combining his two loves, clothing and the state of Wisconsin. At 6, I'll walk you through Corey's rise to success and show you how you can support this local small business.
I look forward to that, Andrew. Thank you. Coming up, Greg will rejoin us, the latest on his forecast.
Plus, we'll share the latest on Damar Hamlin after he collapsed on the field during the Buffalo Bills game last night.
And the first trading day of 2023 sees red numbers across the board. The Dow falling almost 11, the NASDAQ down 79.5, the S&P 500 lost a little more than 15, and we'll be right back.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
After going viral on TikTok, a local store can't keep products on the shelves. Wisconsin residents eager to show their pride are buying all they can. We hear from the entrepreneur behind the business's success. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition after collapsing on the field during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals last night. Isabel Rosales now with the latest from Cincinnati.
Horrifying moments unfolding in Paycor Stadium as the Buffalo Bills face off against the Cincinnati Bengals Monday night. Bills safety, 24-year-old Damar Hamlin, suffering cardiac arrest and collapsing moments after getting up from an open field tackle on Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. Emotions running high as his fellow players, fans, and millions of people watch on at home as CPR was administered. Then cheers cutting through the fear on the field after Hamlin's heartbeat is restored and he's rushed to the hospital.
As players, injuries are always our deepest fear. And we glamorize this sport simply because of the financial stability that it can provide for our families. But often, we tend to try to remove any of those thoughts the moment we hit the field, that injuries are real and that they exist in this sport.
The NFL postponed the game, saying next steps will come at an appropriate time.
I've never seen anything like it since I've been playing. So immediately, my player hat went on. And how do you resume play after you've seen such a traumatic event occur in front of you real time?
He has a strong family. I mean, he has the ideal support system. They're optimistic. Damar is someone that you would trust and believe to come out on top of anything that he is faced with.
In Cincinnati, I'm Isabel Rosales.
Actor Jeremy Renner is still in the intensive care unit at a Nevada hospital after a snowplow accident near his Lake Tahoe home. In a statement, Renner's representative says Jeremy has suffered blunt chest trauma and orthopedic injuries. He has returned from surgery and remains in intensive care in critical but stable condition. Officials say Renner was the only one involved in the accident, and the sheriff's department is actively investigating to find out what happened. Thousands gathered in Brazil for the funeral procession of soccer legend Pelé today. The 82-year-old three-time World Cup winner died from colon cancer complications last week. The procession started at Urbano Caldera Stadium, home to Pelé's former Club Santos. His coffin was carried through the city's streets and to a cemetery where a private funeral was held for family. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Now here's meteorologist Greg Barnhart. Greg?
Hey, and we got, like I said, we don't have the freezing rain issue anymore going on, but now we just got that low clouds, drizzle, like I said. The warm air is kind of taken over the system. Aloft, we've lost all the clouds, and when you have high clouds, you get ice, which helps to produce some snow. But so we're really going to deal with some drizzle here with these conditions. Eventually, the cold air will win out with this system. It'll just take probably till tomorrow night into Thursday morning till we see more snow and colder temperatures. Right now, all the winter weather advisory, winter storm warnings to the north with the snow that continues like that. That's starting to also wind down with this system too. So overall, the travel impacts going for the next day. We got the rain drizzle. The big issue will be the fog tonight, wet roads. The transition happens tomorrow, and then we go on to maybe a little bit of accumulating snow Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We even could see a little bit of freezing drizzle is something to keep in mind for tomorrow evening. Low confidence if we're going to get that, but that is something to keep in mind as we transition back. This whole circulation, the low is sitting out to the right now to northern Iowa. It's going to start lifting to the north. Like I said, we've lost all the high clouds, so right now we're not going to see a lot of the showers, more just drizzle. Overnight, we'll start to see that begin to lift north. So even by tomorrow morning, Wednesday, it's still to the north. We're not seeing much, but finally by afternoon, we're going to start seeing that cold air wrap around, and then we'll start seeing more showers in the afternoon, more snow, and that'll continue probably through Thursday morning. Eventually, it'll take till Thursday afternoon to really get this low to fill and at least get out of here so we can see more sun come Friday. Overall tonight, the temperatures will not fall really for the mid-30s, so it's not going to be any of a road issue going on. A few showers, but mainly areas will see the drizzle, some areas of dense fog overnight. Once you wake up tomorrow morning, still could be some drizzle or fog, but temperatures will be still in the mid-30s. Overall, we're going to see above freezing. Then tomorrow, like I said, we'll start to see some of the colder air begin to push off, so the temperatures will probably start falling a little bit in the afternoon, approaching freezing by the evening hour. You see a little bit more showers, maybe flurries start to pick up in the afternoon. That'll be the trend going into Thursday. Now, fog and visibility tonight, we're going to see that continue. We could be down to a quarter, a half mile. It's going to go back and forth probably throughout the night. As you wake up tomorrow morning, once again, there could be some fog out there, maybe even dense fog down to a quarter in certain areas. Like I said, we had a lot of moisture, very little wind flow going on right now, so it's a perfect recipe to get some dense fog going in through tomorrow. So overall snow with the system, not much. What we get is going to maybe about an inch, maybe a little bit 2 inches to the north or to the west of the areas, but overall that won't be the biggest deal, but we will see that probably, like I said, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, into Thursday morning too, something to keep in mind of once we get past that. So once we get past that, actually things look fairly good for the weekend right now. A chance for snow coming up on Saturday, but overall, once we get that, then we're looking at fairly mild conditions continuing through next week with maybe another system coming by the end of next week. So overall, not too bad considering this is about the middle of January coming up, so we could be far worse with some definitely colder temperatures.
All right, Greg, thank you. Susan, you like a good Ferris wheel, right? Well, this was quite a New Year's Eve for 62 people in Orlando rescued from atop a 400-foot tall Ferris wheel after it lost power. Orange County Fire Rescue released its drone video of these rescues. The wheel at Icon Park lost power. More than 20 of the pods on the ride were full when it simply stopped running. Now, many of you may know this ride by its former name, the Orlando Eye. Cell phone video before the rescue shows sparks and smoke coming from the side of this giant Ferris wheel. Now, the park isn't exactly sure what caused it. It will, of course, get a major inspection before reopening. A rescue of another kind next at 5 will take you to the icy waters of Lake Michigan. How a bald eagle ended up stranded north of Chicago. That's coming up.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Lawton Cates, we're all about comebacks. Whether it's helping you recover after an accident or return to the job following an injury, we fight the odds and the insurance company for our clients every day. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm gonna gag or I'm gonna go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like you gotta leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just gotta rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I used these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth. With power swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the power swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth this new year by ordering power swabs and receive up to 50% off the regular price. Yes, 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
You can get any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At U.S. Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Authorities were called out for a difficult and different kind of rescue near Chicago on Sunday.
A bald eagle seemed sick and stranded on a piece of ice. Liz Nagy has the story of how volunteers saved the bird.
Jim Tabinski is a veteran volunteer bird rescuer. He's worked with Chicago bird collision monitors for years, but the call he got Sunday was a new one.
I've rescued hundreds and hundreds of birds, but never a bald eagle.
And this rescue was risky.
The bird with their talons and beak could really do some damage, and obviously when a person gets close, they're going to be terrified.
Bird watchers reached out to the rescue group after spotting this bald eagle floating on a single piece of ice in Waukegan Harbor.
The bird looked really miserable. I mean, it was wet, bedraggled, and when I got there, it didn't move at all. From the time I saw it till the time they got it in the net, I didn't even see it blink its eyes.
Tabinski, a longtime kayak racer, used a technique he's learned from whitewater rafting to push the ice and the eagle to shore.
I got my bow up on the ice a little bit, and then just very slowly, hoping not to dislodge the bird, paddled it all the way. It was on the opposite side of the harbor from where the people were, so I had to paddle it all the way across.
That's where the other volunteers stepped in.
They went and got some nets with very long handles and managed to scoop the bird up.
The eagle was taken to Willowbrook Wildlife Center in Glen Ellen, where it's now being nursed back to health.
He's eating, sitting up, looking 100% better than yesterday.
As Liz Nagy reporting, rescuers believe that eagle may have gotten sick from ingesting poison from its prey.
Remarkable story. We'll get a final check on your First Warn forecast after a short break.
It starts as a kitchen built for right now and grows with you as life changes. Clearview Cabinetry is flexible by design, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works at every stage. And the style is so easy to update, you can do it in a snap, meaning you don't have to remodel your space to make it work even better. Because it's not just a kitchen, it's the center of your universe. Clearview Cabinetry, available exclusively at Menards.
Suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
Brothers Maine has been family-owned since 1938. Some of us were born into this family, and others chose to join through the years. And we know you can't replace family, but you can replace appliances, and Brothers Maine is here for you when one breaks down. Our in-house team has delivered ranges to washers to refrigerators to hectic households in a pinch, oftentimes the next day. Just because an appliance breaks down doesn't mean you have to. We're not big box. We're Brothers Maine, and we want you to feel like family here.
New year, new you? Join Anytime Fitness and get 30 days free. Get more out of your membership than just machines. Because here, you can lift your weights and lift your mood. Now through January 31st, get 30 days free at Anytime Fitness. Hurry in now.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
Greg's back. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, it's like the missed movie out there right now, if you got it. But visibility is going to be low. Dense fog is the real issue tonight. You might see some drizzle. That'll be not the biggest issue. Like I said, we have some rain showers or drizzle moving up. Temperatures will all be above freezing, so road will be fine. It's just going to be the visibility going through tomorrow. Maybe some issues coming Wednesday evening and Thursday morning with some more snow coming. But the weekend looks okay to start off, and temperatures overall still mild.
Yeah, just got to kind of deal with the mist and the rain, and we saw a lot of like icy roads to the north
To the north, yeah. Some of those areas got 1/10, 2/10, even 3/10 of ice as you go up to Trempealeau County, up to La Crosse, too. So definitely an ice road issue up there.
And no more snow.
Nope.
Not good for skiing.
The ground is bare.
We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.